I'm Heidi Harris. When you hear that, you know Ransom's here from our sister station, 107.5. Ransom Palooza, good to see you, my friend.
Good to see you.
All right, the
Thanks
movie
for having
is
me.
Jason Bourne. I want to get this right. This is the one that everybody was excited about because a lot of it was filmed here.
Yeah. Remember, the strip was shut down for weeks and weeks.
I had some friends who were doing some extra work. It seemed like a lot of fun.
Yeah, my wife actually works down on the strip, and she hated it.
Oh, I'll bet.
She was just like, I need to get to work, and all the roads are closed, and it takes me an extra 30 minutes to get to work.
But that's cool when they do something in Vegas. So now, let me back up, because this is the fifth one you said, fifth Bourne movie, right?
This is correct. So there's a trilogy with Matt Damon. There's a fourth movie with Jeremy Renner, and then there's now this one again with Matt Damon. So he's reprising his role as Jason Bourne.
Okay, so since I haven't seen any, I'm sorry to say, do I need to start from the beginning, or can I jump right in here at number 5?
You do. You really do. To really appreciate the movie, and to be honest, you're going to want to as well, because the original Bourne movies, the trilogy, they're really great.
I hear that
movies.
They're great, yeah.
They're really, really good movies. They're intelligent movies. They're fun movies. They have great action sequences, but they're really, really great movies. And compared to this one, they are much better. Not saying that this one is a bad movie. It's not a bad movie by any stretch of the imagination. It's a good movie, but it's not a great movie, which for me was very disappointing because, like I mentioned a little while ago, the first 3 Bourne movies are great. They're fun action movies that respect the intelligence of the audience. They're really smart films. You have to pay attention to really understand what's going on.
Oh, that's good.
And this movie is just more of like an action movie. It doesn't really try that hard to be super intelligent like the first 3. There's a lot of cliche dialogue throughout the film. Another thing that really annoys me is that they take back the biggest moment from the original trilogy. And, it's been out for a while. I can say this, right?
Yeah, go ahead.
So, the biggest moment from the original trilogy is Jason Bourne getting back his memories. And one of the last things that he says in his final movie is, "I remember everything." And within the first 30 seconds of this movie, you realize that they have completely taken that back, and there's still a bunch of stuff that he just is not he's not remembering. And
no, brother.
That's what the whole movie is about. He finds out about a new program that is being led by the CIA, and it's his duty to find out who these people are and to put an end to it. So you get to go on this ride with him, and it's a lot of fun. But again, it's just not as great as the original trilogy.
All right, so how about the car chases that were filmed on the strip? They make our town look great. That's the important thing.
Yeah, I gotta say, it's one of the best car chase scenes I think I've ever seen. This is where the movie has always been strong. The Jason Bourne movies always have a really awesome chase scene in every single one of them. And I was talking to Mark about this last week. I said, the thing that I really love about these movies so much is the fact that they're real. They feel real. They feel visceral. It's not like the Transporter movies where this guy's doing flips in a car and he does like this crazy barrel roll to take a mine off the bottom of his car. Like, these feel like they could actually happen. Jason Bourne takes a lot of punishment in these car chase scenes. The vehicles take a lot of punishment, and it was really great because when we saw the movie, I actually took my neighbor who was an extra in the film.
Oh wow!
There's a great scene where they crash through a building, and we were trying to look for her, but we couldn't quite see her because it happened so quick. But again, it was shot here in Las Vegas, so there are a lot of people in Las Vegas who are going to go see this movie this weekend to see did I make the cut?
Yeah, that's kind of fun. Now, when it comes to chase scene movies, is the one of the more famous ones, as you well know, is from the French Connection. Was that like one of the first chase scenes ever in a movie that I can remember?
French Connection, Bullet was another one.
Oh yeah, but so back in the 70s, they were doing movies where there were some cool chase scenes, and then it got more and more sophisticated. Are there directors who are specifically good? Like, in other words, if you direct a movie, do you hire another guy to direct the chase scene unit?
I think there are a lot of directors who are well known for their chase scenes. Paul Greengrass, who does the Bourne movies, is one of those directors.
Okay, so he directs the entire thing, but he also happens to be good at the chase scenes.
Oh yeah.
Okay, so he knows.
And then you look at George Miller as well from last year, Mad Max.
Mm-hmm.
That whole movie.
Love that Fury Road, baby. Let's talk about Fury Road.
That whole movie was a chase scene.
Shut up, Mark.
But yeah,
he hates Fury Road. Yeah, Fury Road, great movie. But like you said, if you're not good at chase scenes, don't do them. But if you are and you do them very, very well, then they really stand out.
By all means, yeah. And this one is another one that just it is the standout of this movie, to be completely honest. Again, it's a good movie. Not a great movie. The chasing, though, might be the best of the entire franchise so far. Yeah.
Okay. Now, how long is the chase scene in the movie?
Well, there's 2 actually.
Oh, really?
There's one that's set in, I believe, some European city. I believe it was like Paris. And then there's the other one that's in Las Vegas. So the first one lasts probably about 5 to 10 minutes, and then the second one lasts about 5 to 10 minutes.
That's all we care about is the Vegas when they held with Paris. Not that we wish them any ill, but no one cares about Paris. We care about ourselves. So you recommend it if you're a Bourne freak, even if you're not a Bourne freak, is still a good movie, or like you said, not as good as the others.
Not as good as the others, but it is enjoyable. If you've never seen the original movies, skip this one out. Go watch the first 3 movies. They're great. You could probably skip the Jeremy Renner one because it wasn't as good. Had a lot of the same problems that this one has, where it just doesn't, really appreciate your intelligence as a movie watcher. But yeah, this one is a fine movie, but it's just not great.
Not as great.
Well, never quite takes that step.
All right. Well, that's the thing. When you do a really great movie, then you try to follow it up. A lot of times the second one falls flat, or the fourth, or whatever. It depends on what you're holding it up to a higher standard to begin with, right?
Yeah. And here's the thing: when you have 5 movies under your belt, there's gonna be a little bit of a decline eventually.
Yeah, eventually, like Jaws. After even Jaws 1, after Jaws 2, straight downhill.
Rocky 5.
Yeah. What? How many? Was that 5, 10, 20?
Well, I think there's 7 Rocky movies.
What amazes me is that Hollywood, and I'm not going to ask you to get political, but, last week when they were making such fun of Melania Trump for supposedly plagiarizing some of Michelle Obama's speech. Okay, I'm not going to ask you to comment on that. But I laughed because I thought that's all Hollywood does. They find a movie that's successful, Fast and Furious, and they do 82 of them. They just do it again and again and again and again and again. Hey, if something works, just stick with it, right?
Yeah, Vin Diesel recently said in a recent interview that he wants to do those movies until he dies. So if that's the case, if he actually does that, they're going to be on like a Fast and Furious 79 by the time that he croaks. But yeah, you're exactly right. That's a great point.
People like it, though. People like those kind of... I like a good movie like that. I have no problem with fun chase movies or things like that. Like I said, Fury Road, I loved it, even though Mark hated it.
Hate's a strong word.
No, not for you.
And applicable.
Okay, so what's coming up next week, Ransom?
Next week is the new DC Comics movie, Suicide Squad.
Okay.
Margot Robbie is in it. Will Smith is in it. It's got a star-studded cast. A lot of people are not as excited for this movie as much anymore because of Batman v Superman and how bad that movie was.
Yeah.
They actually went back to the drawing board after the movie Deadpool came out, because Deadpool was a rated R movie that was really funny, had a lot of great action sequences too, and they spent an extra $10 million reshooting some stuff and adding funny dialogue to the movie. So we'll see if that actually helps the film or if it hurts the film. We'll be talking about that next week.
Yeah, because Batman vs. Superman, that's the one with Ben Affleck, right? That looks stupid in the trailers.
Henry Cavill. Ben Affleck was actually the best part of that movie, believe it or not. But
I love Henry Cavill. He could read the paper and I'd be happy. but it wasn't a good movie, like you said.
No. That movie was awful.
All right. So that'll be next week. All right. So Bourne, brace out and see Bourne and see if you're an extra in it, folks.
If you're a fan.
All right. Sounds good. Ransom, we'll see you next week.